Okay, lesson learned. Don't open your presents early, people. If you do, Santa will turn them into something shitty. Well, I can only hope this one's better. Phoenix Games? God. Why, Santa? I've been good this year. Why do you do this to me? Oh yeah, there is no Christmas whatsoever unless I can rant and bitch about Phoenix Games. Oh, right. Well, thanks, Santa. I didn't mean that I wanted more of these. I have like a truckload full of them already. Okay, so it looks like Santa sent me some more Phoenix Games this year. Well, that's just great. We got 21 card games, yeah, that sounds fucking fun. We got Mighty Mulan, and last but not least, we got Animal Soccer World. Great! I don't even like regular soccer. Well, I guess we should try out the card games first.
So I actually had some problems here. My PS2 wouldn't load the disc, so I had to get another one. Yeah, I got like 4 PS2s at the moment. And 2 of them wouldn't load the disc.
Honestly, I never had this problem before. What is it with Phoenix Games only wanting to work once every red moon? Is it because it's on a CD-ROM? I don't know.
The game starts off with the Phoenix logo as always burning into your screen. Oh, and also before we move on, I have to say this game is actually age 3 and up. How is that possible?
This is literally a gambling simulator. How can it only be ages 3 and up? Man, these ratings just sucks. You know, the original Pokemon games had a 12 plus rating? Yeah, don't believe me? Then take a look at your 3DS eShop.
Okay, so before we can even begin the game, it has to load, and by that I mean load a fucking marathon. Seriously, why does a card game has this much loading? Then we get the character select screen. Why does this even matter? It's not like it's able to save your progress. Yeah, how about that? None of the Phoenix games that I own, apart from maybe Mythmakers, can't save anything.
You would think that in the PS2 era that these things would have been outlawed. But I guess not.
Anyway, the characters we can choose from is Green-haired Jacksepticeye, guy who forgot to remove his sleeping mask, Terrorizer, some creepy knockoff Superman villain, and this junkie. So let's pick him. He looks like someone who would gamble his life away. So right off the bat we got 21 card games to choose from. Aww, I thought we would at least have 22. I mean, with the title 21 card games, I expected more. Jokes aside, let's pick a few to look at, like Blackjack.
Now I got to be honest, I'm not a big card player, unless you of course refers to Yu-Gi-Oh! And those sort of card games, but real cards, yeah, I better know the rules.
Ugh, that is shitty Vegas music if I've ever heard it. Couldn't they at least have used a better soundtrack? I mean, the screen is seriously dull to look at, but then again, it is a big green screen, so... Anyway, it's just Blackjack. To what I understand, you need to have the closest to 21 without having more than 21, and a certain card combo is Blackjack. Well, let's just bet the shit and...
You would think that either my PS2 controller or my PS2 itself was on life support, right? But actually, this problem only occurs when I play Phoenix games, yeah, no shit.
It happened when I played Mythmakers, as well as some of their other titles. Hell, some hip games even caused this to my controller.
And I did put in Dynasty Warriors afterwards, just to see if it happened there as well. Nope. Nothing was wrong.
Okay, Blackjack is boring. I mean, there's nothing to look at the screen, so... I guess we should try Whist? Whatever the hell that is. Oh, there's other players. We got a goth chick I couldn't pick. We got Curly from the Three Stooges dressed up as a pirate. I don't remember that episode. And we got Mr. Miyagi.
Okay, I don't even need to try anymore, do I? I mean, whether it be martial arts or poker games, no one can beat Mr. Miyagi.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand. Wax on, wax off.
Honestly, I don't get this game. I think you need the best of the same color or something similar to that. Hell, I don't even know if the game goes clockwise or counterclockwise. All I know is, Curly must be cheating, seriously. He wins almost all the time. Must have gotten lessons from Shemp. Next one, Fantan. That sounds fun. So this time our opponent is a saloon girl. That's actually fitting. An Indian guy and this green-haired weirdo. Okay, let's play.
Oh, I'm sorry, you need instructions on how to play? Well, so do I, but guess what? They are not inside the game. They are all in the fucking manual, so you better have the manual if you want to play 21 card games. Oh, and you probably also need a good psychiatrist.
Okay, from what I could get is, you need to put down a 7 of any color, and when a 7 is put down, you can either put down a 6 or an 8 of that same card type. This continues until no one has any cards left. I must say, this is actually quite fun, but I would recommend playing this in real life instead. Okay, one last game and then we need to move on. Got 2 movies to review after this. Texas Hold'em Poker. Yeah, just go all in. Crap. Yeah, I am one of those guys who just goes all in hoping that either I win so it can be over or I lose so it can be over.
Seriously, was there really a need for 21 card games and one on PS2? I mean, who demanded this? Okay, I guess in Red Dead Redemption is sort of okay because it's a small part of the game, not the entire fucking thing. Well, I guess we might as well take a look at Mighty Mulan then.
Same logo as always. I'm seriously terrified of my TV screen burning up showing it.
Oh shit!
So the game starts up with that shitty creature too many of the games feature. Then we have the usual shit. Select minigames, go to option or play the movie. So let's play the movie. So we got a narrator telling us that this story about Mulan takes place 800 years ago, so the 13th century. And we see that the art style as well as animation is way better than their other works.
Yeah, it's almost as if they got the shit together on this one.
So we meet Mulan, who's way too busy to get the script going to greet us. And we are on our way to meet the panda she's apparently friends with.
And her parents are okay with this. Why? Pandas can be very dangerous if provoked.
Anyway, they have some shenanigans until Mulan decides to read a story for the panda.
A long, long time ago, in the age of Silver Moon and Golden Sun.
Oh no, you don't even get to name better games than yours. Golden Sun was fantastic from start to end. So much so that I even had to buy them again on the Wii U, so fuck you, Phoenix Games.
To the Black Bears, nothing was more beautiful and more important than watching the sky. And counting the stars.
Clearly, TV wasn't invented yet.
But when the stars were gone, the Black Bears had to go as well. Because by that time, the awful, horrible, ugly, and the dangerous White Bears...
Oh, great. Even Phoenix Games gone woke. That's not going to save your asses, Phoenix Games.
So we can clearly see that the budget of this story matches that which they usually make. Good, I was afraid they actually improved for a second. The story continues about the white bears, and suddenly a black bear decides to have an interracial relationship with one of the white bears.
It is a white bear, and she is not horrible at all. And that was Lida.
Did that black bear just slurp? Man, what a creep!
Don't blush, he's obviously a weirdo slurping at girls, man, come on! And the story was to help us realize how baby pandas were made.
Thank goodness they didn't make an R-rated version, huh?
Anyway, we then cut to Mulan seeing a big strong warrior in the pond's reflection.
Clearly she's daydreaming about big hunky men. I mean, she is at that age, right?
Nope, she's seeing a future self, so I guess that's good.
What a strange reflection! Panda, it's me in an armor.
She tells her dad, the great warrior, about this, who then takes her to the archery tournament.
The truthfulness of a dream is verified when one wakes up.
So clearly we can see that they hired more than 2 actors this time, or maybe it's just 2 actors who can sound different when they need to.
A pocket warrior. She better shoot with chopsticks.
I'll show you some real shooting.
Throw it by hand. The arrow will fly further.
This scene was indeed necessary. How else would we know that Mulan got 3 secret admirers she doesn't end up with either of? Well, the soundtrack just gave up on us. Figures.
So since it is ancient China, she gets a pity prize saying thanks for at least trying. which we all know was the core of ancient China. Discipline and only the best reaps the spoils, yeah, leave that to Russia. Ancient China has pity prices, yeah, do I even need to clarify that the creators never opened a fucking history book? Honestly, child-friendly Disney made a closer version to what it was like in ancient China. Well, no time for this, war is at our doorstep, and this guy who clearly started and ended his acting career with this stupid movie is here to tell us all about it.
Here, take some. You'll feel better. Just take it easy.
A great disaster. There's been a great disaster. War broke out in the south of the empire. Large groups of the rebels are torching everything and they're killing everybody.
So after that, Mulan's father starts training since he's gotten old and feeble. But apparently a 12-year-old daughter at the office asked why she couldn't fight in the ancient Chinese war, and thus this movie was made. And we see that the budget for this movie is almost used up, since so much of this training montage, term used very lightly, is just still images with barely any movement, if any at all.
Clearly her training is paying off. She's already developing bad sound effects on her own. And for those Chinese-style nunchucks, I guess flailing them around like a madman is going to come in handy later.
So Mulan is now a man who got the family heirloom, the talisman.
No, but I do understand the confusion, since Jackie Chan did voice the Cantonese version of Disney's Mulan.
So we have Mulan in a, I guess they would call it a montage of a brown screen, with the medallion right in the middle, and occasionally a still image drawn on top of it all. We then cut to the battlefield, I guess, and Mulan is on edge.
Rabbits carrying big bows. Maybe they're using them for hunting carrots.
Yeah, I got no clue.
Follow me and fight like Imperial soldiers!
Okay, I have to say she's very hard to take seriously when her battle cry more or less sounds like someone who just took her favorite brand of lipstick right in front of her.
Well, as you would guess, they are quickly defeated and holy shit, blood, that's actually awesome. Well, Mulan is sent to the slave camp. I assume the others are dead. Those were some pretty serious wounds for the time. So we see an old man who really can't do anymore, and we get this scene.
You filthy animal! Let the old man be!
What? Did some of you sleazy worms speak?
Yeah, I was going to say something about his acting skills here, but instead I just have to congratulate the guy about being able to speak at all with that breaking, bobbing head. I mean, that must give quite the neck pain.
So during the night, Mulan's father's ghost comes in to help her out.
Go and find the biggest tree in China. That is the door to the dragon's world.
Clearly his ghost learns to speak the age-old language of exposition, and she then summons some pigeons to help her escape.
Do not ask if you don't want the answer, okay?
The magic medallion.
Well, nevertheless, the pigeons shit on the guard, yeah, blood and shit. Already the 3+ sign on the cover doesn't add up, and they steal the key to free Mulan. She escapes by flipping the medallion again to summon a circus horse who has the ability to spawn out of thin air. She then crawls up to the tallest tree in China, being tallest because it got a mountain underneath it. Here we got some shenanigans with a monkey. Who accidentally helps Mulan find the entrance to an old temple.
Ah yes, the manly scream of a man, so manly that we can almost see her red undies. Yeah, a previous clip actually shows that she still is a woman, but of course I can't show you that since it's Christmas and, let's be honest, the internet is more sensitive than TV nowadays.
So she finally enters the fire temple to get Darunia out of a pickle, and tell me if you didn't want to see this in Samurai Jack. With their passion and art style, this would have been great. So she kicks the monkey over the lava because she must have read the cheater's guide, and it works. The lava monsters become smaller and they can escape.
At least we won't have to fear fire anymore, but we might drown instead.
Always Little Miss Sunshine, aren't you?
So she uses the medallion to summon a Magikarp and then manages to escape through a rather narrow hole. But it is too late, since the movie gives us the answer to the age-old question of how Banana Mania ice cream is made.
Clue, it is indeed Frozen Monkey.
So she then forces out the Banana Mania ice cream circle, and use the medallion to summon a crane bird, but apparently it is racist towards red-haired monkeys and refuses to help them out further. Well, they then build a kite through, still images gets assaulted by bats, the monkey's grip loosens and it falls to its death. Even though the very next clip clearly shows the monkey is still on the kite.
Consistency! Who cares when you can reuse animation assets, right?
But apparently the monkey was smart since it saw Mulan's driver's license had expired years ago, which can only mean she's about to crash. So she finds the dragon slayer, not the game, since that's also better animated, but the dragon appears and, well, it's weird.
Hey, dragon, wake up! Let's go! You need some fresh air and you have to go out. You're done sleeping here. Oh, gosh. He fell asleep again. Monkey, do something, quickly!
What the fuck? Do I even need to edit that? I mean, in mere seconds. We saw Mulan woke up the dragon, we saw him standing up with his sleeping bag and all, and now he's asleep again? And who's that Son Goku wannabe?
So I guess he's the main villain who gives us the exposition of Mulan's father being the one who wakes up the dragon to fall the ice, since it can't do that on its own apparently.
You could hear that rubbish only from your father, that miserable worm. That was his duty, to crawl, that imperial maggot.
Blood is not male or female. It is only red. And in your case it must be green, you evil lizard.
Mulan, I don't think you quite understand. Red is not a gender, and neither is green. What is up with you, woman? Did your brain freeze solid?
So clearly they are evenly matched in their fight, and how come the villains always under the code of mano y mano when they have an army behind them? But it seems that before either can get the upper hand, evil Mike Evilson has to rant about his plan.
Everyone will adore me when I wake up the dragon after this war. They will say he won the war because he ended the drought.
Hey, you found the medallion!
Oh good! You never said that you lost it.
And now he goes to Monkey Grave.
This is getting weird, let's move on to the end.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
Mulan then returns to the pond with her panda friend, and the pond shows that it is okay to be a nagging angry wife now.
And that is literally how it stops. Alrighty then. Next game.
Animal Soccer World.
Man, I don't even like soccer, and this art style is atrocious. Well, I guess we should just put it in and play it.
So let's cut the shenanigans and go straight for the movie. We can clearly see that they spared any expense, since that is the dog from Empire of Atlantis. Remember that? The one with the kid Michael Jackson on the cover. So we see that a dog and a Lions Club discussing what they are going to do today.
What are you doing today?
I don't know yet.
And while they do that, I'm going to take a refreshing drink.
We can visit some friends.
What the fuck? Fisting some friends? What kind of a movie is this?
Okay, I think they meant visiting friends, but it's hard to hear what they are saying when the music is so damn loud. Well, anyway, they are on their way to friends while this goat laughs.
Why? I don't know, now do I fucking care.
Harry, we are going to visit Harry. Then we know right away if there's something going on.
Apparently they're going to fist Harry, since I guess that's how you know stuff is going on around here.
And then we can tell our friends.
Okay.
Yeah, clearly they didn't spare a dime when making this, so much so that they went with the first take in everything. Nice, now we can recognize Phoenix Games' work. So we see that Harry is a crow with a human body, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone found that attractive. And he's straight up lying to his audience.
There is an undescribable chaos. More and more animals are coming this way. You can hear the sirens. You are right, you can't hear them. I'm just practicing, in case something really happens.
Or practicing, since that's what news reporters do, I guess.
While they play inappropriate music, we see that the characters in the city has nothing to do. The cock can't sing, the bear also from Atlantis but did a reverse Michael Jackson, can't sell his candy, and more stuff like this.
Damn! What the fuck?
Apparently something is happening in town.
It's probably a false alarm, but hey, it's better than nothing.
That something being that they forgot to remove the actor's sneeze and it is now forever stuck in this shitty game.
Apparently a black panther and a dog is fighting and they are thinking it's fun, but why did they fight to begin with?
That's why.
Dude, the art style is so bad that I have no clue what you're talking about. Please elaborate on the topic.
And of course they are arguing about a ball. The dog won't share and the panther is bragging. A good mix for a football game, really. And also, aren't they like adults? I mean, we got a lion cub, so yeah, they are fucking adults. How about settling this like any other grown-up? Buy your own or settle an agreement. So they figure out a soccer game is the only way to settle who gets to play with the ball. Kind of redundant, isn't it? By playing soccer, they are technically both playing with the ball, and therefore there's no need to have the argument to begin with.
Well, the game/movie would only be 5 minutes long if they did that instead of 45 fucking minutes then.
So in 2 weeks' time they are going to settle the score, and of course our main protagonists, Lion and Dog, can't play on the same team since Frumper from Bambi wanted a cameo, I guess. While the music is still too intense for what's happening, the Puss in Boots helps makes flyers and a pelican flies off with them.
Man, I couldn't come up with something half as crazy as this even if I tried.
So the dogs are getting ready to play, they just need a goalkeeper, I believe it is called. So they decide the bulldog needs to be the goalie, but he doesn't agree until the Atlantis dog is allowed to play too, since plot reasons. We then see quite the opposite on the Jungle King team, since Mufasa is the coach, he demands that his no-good son gets to play as well. So they put an elephant as the goalkeeper. Seems rather cheaty, and hello Seal from Empire of Atlantis, why do I feel that all of these characters have been used before? So we quickly cut to the city to see what's going on there.
Hey, Samson. Have you already heard about the soccer game?
Not much. We then cuts away from the city to see
A completely different movie apparently.
No, not quite. This is a band who wants to play at the soccer game. I got no clue why. This city must really be bored. Well, we then cut to the training. Already I'm fucking bored. And we see that the movie realized that shitty movies should have a laugh track at least once. Meanwhile, the Jungle King again have a different problem. The goalkeeper won't let them score.
Nonsense. I am a goalkeeper and I will have to stop every ball.
Honestly, I would think that would be a good thing. That means when they finally do get a goal, they are pretty damn good at the game. But no, apparently helping your team get better is a bad thing apparently.
So the dog runs off to get a jersey. Yeah, I'm actually not skipping much here. The acting is atrocious.
We need jerseys. Can you make jerseys for us?
Jerseys? Of course. I can make as many jerseys as you want. My sisters and I also need jerseys.
You? Why do you need jerseys?
I'm not saying. Surprise.
And we hear the lip sync is really off, and apparently the pig needs jerseys too. I would laugh if it says I love bacon on their jerseys.
Well, it's like this.
Ah, yes. Nothing's a secret like Hershey's chocolate.
And the big day arrives, and we all know that no soccer game is complete without punk-looking geese hooligans.
Am I right? Is it too late to put in Atari football?
So the Lion King threatens to eat the geese if they don't behave, and holy shit, that one got spikes for tits. How strange is that? And of course, before they can begin, the band has to sing.
Hier zijn we met z'n allen, we hebben een fijne tijd. We gaan een beetje ballen, het wordt een mooie strijd.
Yeah, this is the time in the movie that the actor really regrets agreeing to this and signing a lifelong contract written in blood. Well, at that point, it really is his own fault. And in the next scene, the same actor tries his best to be unrecognizable since he has to voice the pig cheerleaders.
We are the piggiest cheerleader. 4, 5, 6, 7. The Jungle Kings will play like hell.
Ah, yes. The Jungle Kings will play like hell. Ages 3 and up, people. Maybe they got too distracted by the pigs ever-changing outfits that they forgot to censor that, but yeah.
So we see the game and yeah, it's shitty. We then cut to the same song in the halftime because why not? This actor's career is over, why not shit on his grave as well? The other part of the game begins and it ends in a draw, and the coach for the Jungle King declares that they won. Well, he said they needed a rematch since secret material, I believe, and then it just ends.
Thank goodness, and if there by any chance is a sequel, please do not let me know about it. Empire of Atlantis was bad, Toys Room was atrocious. This was just plain unwatchable. I hope that in my life I never have to sit through something so bland and boring again. Well, it is the 25th, so Merry Christmas to you all, and to you all a Happy New Year.
We won't see the wild dogs again.
Yo, 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 yo.